we're just walking across the jetty here to start filming the report, and there is so much life on this sand flat. Heaps of small bait fish, trevally feeding on them, some small tailor, pretty much everything from blackfish, trevally, even saw some big whiting. So get out here on the jetty and catch a few fish. There's fish everywhere. G'day guys, Jamari here with another Boss Outdoor Merimbula fishing report. So this past week off the headlands and wharves has been very productive. Before that swell that we got over the weekend, the water was really warm, super clear, more bonito than you can poke a stick at. Some salmon, and the salmon have been absolutely huge. Mixed in with your rat kings, some bigger size models as well, just sort of sub-meter kings, yeah, and plenty of bonito. Once we did get that swell move through, it's cooled the water down quite a lot. Generally happens when we get an easterly or northeasterly swell. Cool upwellings from that swell, it stirs everything up. The water's gone a little bit green and dropped a couple of degrees, so the fishing's tapered off a little bit. There are still plenty of bonito on the less exposed headlands, so the inside of Long Point here is still relatively clean water, and there's plenty of bonito at the Merimbula Wharf and the odd big kingfish as well, so very much worth a fish still. So with that swell that I mentioned, the beach fishing has been firing. Lots of salmon on the beaches. Like always, after we get a pulse of swell, the gutters will change, so your usual spot may not be as good as it has been. Just have a little look where the waves are washing into, where the troughs are, and go from there. But yeah, plenty of salmon along the beaches. Still some mulloway around the river mouths as well. When we get a swell along the beach, it tends to stir everything up and all the fish tend to feed. So plenty of salmon, plenty of mulloway, and some big tailor as well. So get out there on the beaches and chase a few fish. So the inshore fishing scene out the front of Merimbula here has changed a little bit with this swell that I mentioned. Still plenty of flathead out the front. Maybe push a little bit deeper when we get this swell. It tends to stir them up inshore a little bit. They don't love a lot of water movement. Something it has done though, with that dropping temperature and the inshore swell, the snapper fishing's fired up. So there's some little pan-sized reds out on the reefs, but some better models getting around as well, around that 40 centimetre mark, sort of that mid 40s. I haven't heard of anything over 50, but definitely perfect eating size snapper. So if you're into your snapper fishing, look for those days where there's no wind in the morning, get out early. First light's always good, and yeah, get out there and chase a few snapper. It's coming into that time of year. So as for the offshore marlin scene out the front of Merimbula, I don't have too much information for you. I don't know if too many people have been out. We have heard good reports of fish further north, so up towards Burmy and even further north, they've been catching good fish, and those fish are supposedly moving south. So within the next week, we should have some more information on the marlin. I do know a couple of people that are lined up to go out over the weekend, so we will get reports from them. Stand by. Well, there is just so much life here. It's really cool to see. Pretty much from here all the way back to the footpath is just covered with bait fish. There's trevally feeding on them, there's tailor, so much life. It's not just the Merimbula system that's got lots of life in it at the moment though. Up towards Tathra's been fishing quite well. Still lots of big flathead around. Like I mentioned, off the beaches, mulloway, there are still mulloway in the estuaries as well. And the brim fishing's been really good. With this little bit of colder water that we've seen out in the ocean with that swell that I mentioned, it's pushed in. Obviously on the incoming tide you'll get an influx of cold water into the estuaries. It's really spiked up the brim fishing, so we've seen plenty of good brim photos. Yeah, and the flathead, pretty much all your estuary fishing is still really good. Well guys, that is all for this week's Boss Outdoor Fishing Report. If there's anything else you need to know, whether it's boating, camping, fishing, or anything else outdoors, come in store, see the team so we can hook you up. We'll catch you next week.